Hi everyone, it's follow-up time on this massive trunk Taiwan ficus, or Ficus Microcarpa, that I worked on in the last video. And you'll notice that since we last saw it, it has put on some amazing growth. Now you look around at this thing now, and it's very tempting to look at all this and say, oh boy, bonsai, hey, it's got the shape, we're done. But if you look in more closely, you'll notice there are a lot of flaws in the branch structure that need to be corrected. So what we're going to be doing with this tree, to the dismay of some and the delight of others, is cutting off most of this foliage and working on it to develop a good internal structure that we can hang a foliage canopy on at a later time. So let's get started by pruning away all this lush growth at the base. The fertilizer program that I used on this thing has worked really well, and it's just been amazing how this thing has responded. So we've got to take all this off now so we can clean it up and start it to really go towards being the bonsai that it has the potential to be. Wow, this stuff is amazingly dense here. The first major flaw we have to address is this large branch here that we left when we worked on it last time. And the problem here is with any potential front that we use in this whole range of angles, this is an eye poker. It goes straight towards the viewer, and we need branches that project laterally, at least for the first couple. So we'll start by taking this thing partway back. I'm going to try to get the cutter in there right where it changes direction. Boy, thick branch. Okay, that's off. I'll make a cutting out of that later. And then we take another look at this and see if there's anything we can save, or if this is really going to be our first branch. And looking at this, it still goes in the wrong direction here, so I think we're just going to have to take it all the way back. And it's thick, so we'll try to do that with two cuts here. Now, fortunately, this tree is very vigorous, so we can get away with cutting it quite a bit. Now the next step is to take off and clean up a little bit here. We also have a back branch here. Now this is going to be a back branch, and this is too low on the tree to be useful. So this also has to go. And this will make way for further development. We take off the upward growing stuff here, and then this is coming up just a little too far, so we're going to try to get this guy in here. I'm looking for a good angle to prune it at so that I can save the okay, there we are. And then that can be wired down at a later time, so now it's just a matter of sort of cleaning off the upward growing stuff and establishing this as our first branch. Next, we left a large stub over here on the viewer's right side of the tree. And this was planned to contribute lateral branching and back branching. The only problem is it goes too far straight up, and since we have lots of growth coming off the base of it, we now know that we can take most of it off too. So this is going to be another difficult cut here. And we'll just try to get in there and get it. I need the pruning saw for this one. Either that or just nibble at it bit by bit. Okay, we're partway through. And now we're gonna take another crack at it. Fortunately, the ficus wood is soft, and we can just kind of get in there. And okay, almost got it. And that's that. Now the hard part is getting in cleaning the back side of this, which we want to be the lower side. So we got to kind of come in from a different angle to get that. Next we have a branch up here that we left as kind of a back branch. And this also needs to be taken back a bit so that the growth coming off it doesn't shade out the growth below, and so that we get it going in the right direction. Fortunately, again, there's a lot of growth here, and we can come in fairly short. Thick branch. So go part way through, then go the rest of the way through. And then we still have a lot of small growth in here that's going to have to be taken off. And then later on, we'll reshape these branches so that they transition properly. Now we've got some crossing growth here that we need to address. You'll notice I put some wedges under the tree at this point so I can play with the planting angle and try to gain some trunk movement. One problem is with this going towards the apex, this part is too straight, but I can't really take it off because I don't have any branches down here that are going upwards. So by tilting the tree a little bit, we can put some angle in here and kind of strengthen the tree's appeal as an informal upright bonsai. Now you'll notice we've got now a primary, a counterbalancing branch, and we're going to have to play with heights on these branches a little bit so that we don't get a bar branch effect. And then we've got various back branches going on here, but we still got to deal with our other possible apex. Now the reason I don't like this as the apex is because I'd have to take off this whole structure here to get the tree to balance, and that's going to leave a huge scar for it to heal. And we've already got one big scar on this side of the tree, and we don't really want to leave it with any more. So now we're going to take the big pruner and work on taking this down so that we get some horizontal rather than vertical branching going here. And then this part back here, same thing. Yeah, let's take another look and see what we have. May even need to go down a little farther than that. Taking a look here, and I'm going to do something radical. Here we go. Okay, we're almost done here. Just a little more cutting. Much better. Now you can see the bones of a good bonsai emerging. And we have another little spider here. Okay, so we'll let that spider do its thing. And we're looking at this now, and we've got, you know, first branch, counterbalance. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be the first branch. It's going to come off the inside of a curve, but what's bonsai if you can't break the rules every now and again? And then we've got structure here for back branches, and front branches, and upper side branches, and a future apex here, and we just need a little bit more cleaning up in here to make sure the majority of the growth goes to the places we want it, and that we don't waste energy going other places. But we don't want to just go totally down to one branch, one branch, one branch, because some ficuses have a habit of dying back and growing in unintended directions if you do that. After a lot of pruning, there isn't much left, is there? However, on the good side, at this point, we definitely have the basic structure of a really good informal upright bonsai coming on. We've got a first branch here, and there's actually two branches here, but eventually there will be only one. You always want to leave a little insurance policy in case something goes wrong. So we leave two, and later on, when they start to grow out and get more robust, we cut down to one. And then we've got this branch here, which was part of the original branching, which we can leave because this is going to catch up to it very quickly and easily. And then coming around the back, we've got some structure here for back branches. We've got this one here, which may be a little too low, but we'll leave it for now. We've got others coming off up here. And the last of the original structure that was kind of inhibiting the bonsai development is pretty much gone now. We've taken off this structure here, and we've got further side branching here and up in here, and then more back branching here. And what will happen in the future is we'll take the new leader here back this way and do a couple more layers of branches up in here, then come back this way. And because this is a ficus and not a juniper, it's not going to take 5 or 10 years or whatever to do this. We're literally going to be doing this within the next growing season in 2015. Right now for 2014 we've got maybe a month, 2 months of growing season left, and I expect it's going to leaf out again, maybe not quite as much as this, but it should be fairly substantial. If we get enough to do some wiring and further branch development, then we'll bring that to you, and if we don't, there's always next spring. So let's do a slow 360 and kind of show you what we have here at this point. Thank you for watching, folks.